Hey everyone, welcome to Turkish series stars. All the juicy details are coming up in this video, so make sure you hit subscribe and share our content before we jump in. Thank you for being here. Last night in Istanbul, beloved actor and musician Barış Baktaş turned a concert hall into a whirlwind of emotion. With a set list chosen with meticulous care and a stage presence that filled every corner of the venue, he delivered an evening that fans will be talking about for a long time. From the first note, the crowd was on its feet, and by the end, a surprise return for the encore sent the place into a frenzy. Throughout the performance, Barış was in constant conversation with his audience. He cracked jokes, stepped to the edge of the stage to reach for outstretched hands, and let fans sing along to choruses that felt like memories. Then, after one particularly heartfelt song, he paused, took a long breath, and finally spoke about what everyone had been whispering for months. For the first time, he opened up about Yağmur, the woman who has been at the heart of the rumors and, as it turns out, at the heart of his music. In a voice that echoed through the hall, he said, "Every melody I touched tonight, I touched for one person. Yes, you heard me right. I'm singing for Yağmur." The room erupted. It was not a measured reaction, it was an explosion. Cheers, whistles, people hugging strangers. The emotional confession spread through the venue like electricity, and in minutes, phones were out, recordings were rolling, and clips began flooding social feeds. Within moments, the videos were everywhere. Comments poured in, "This love is official now," wrote one user. Another echoed what thousands were thinking, "We've waited so long for Barış to say this." Others simply labeled it the most romantic on-stage moment of the year, amazed by the courage and gentleness in the way he declared it. Barış seemed to absorb the wave of excitement and reflect it back with tenderness. As he moved into the final stretch of the show, the songs took on a different glow. His voice softened and then soared, and when he glanced up between verses, it was with the kind of smile that only appears when someone stops hiding. Several times, his eyes seemed to moisten in the stage lights. Near the close, he added another line that sent everyone's hearts tumbling, "Sometimes, your reason for creating comes down to one soul. That's what happened to me." It felt like a confession wrapped inside a love letter, and the audience applauded until their palms stung. Backstage, whispers flew as fast as the crew could coil cables. Some called what he said a straightforward declaration. Others wondered if the next step was imminent, a joint appearance, a photo together, a moment that confirmed everything without a single extra word. As of that night, Yağmur had not commented. The silence only fueled speculation, making people wonder what her first statement would be and when it would arrive. Even the staff at the venue exchanged quick glances, as if they, too, sensed that something in the air had shifted for good. What made the night unforgettable was not just the music, it was the feeling that everyone had witnessed a turning point in real time. The city's music lovers, the entertainment press, even those who came out of curiosity rather than devotion, found themselves drawn into the narrative. When Barış walked out at the start, the energy was already high. But as the show progressed, a twist landed in the middle of the stage and took everyone's breath away. The rumor mill had long tied his name to Yağmur's, but in the quiet after a trembling chord, he broke the tension with a line that changed everything. He set his guitar down for a beat, lifted his gaze to the balcony, and let the silence do some of the talking. Then he said, "Every song tonight carries a destination. Every word has a listener. Right now, each note flows toward one heart. I sing while looking at her. For Yağmur." The sound that followed nearly lifted the roof. From the pit to the last row, people clapped, screamed, and laughed through tears. On his face, joy flickered like stage light. Between songs, he smiled to himself, as if replaying memories only he knew. Backstage murmurs began calling it a night built on confessions. Social media transformed into a bonfire of reactions. The clip of his declaration raced across platforms, climbing trends before midnight struck. The quiet certainty in his tone seemed to pull people in even more. He wasn't shouting, he was sure. In the comment sections, countless voices chimed in. "This is a formal love announcement," wrote one. "Barış couldn't have been clearer, now all eyes are on Yağmur," said another. Many called the show history-making for fans of both. The shares multiplied, and that single moment began to stand as the night itself, a music intertwined with emotion, craft merged with truth. Through it all, Yağmur stayed silent. The absence of a response didn't dampen the conversation, it amplified it. The whispers from her circle suggested she hadn't been told this was coming, which only added to the intrigue. Was it a surprise meant for the world and for her at the same time? Was it bravery or beautiful recklessness? Whatever the answer, there was no denying the magnetism of a man who stepped under the lights and turned his heart outward. Anyone who has watched Barış shift from acting into music could feel the culmination of that journey last night. He began the concert vibrant, composed, and playful, but the encore carried the tone of a confession. After bringing the house down, he came back on with a calmer stride, as if he had decided there was one more thing to say. He lowered his guitar, faced the crowd, and shared a thought that felt like it belonged to every performer who ever tried to disguise a feeling. "Sometimes, when you come on stage, you think you can hide what's in your chest behind the songs," he said softly. "But it doesn't work that way." Then he delivered the line that had the internet crackling like a wire. "Tonight, every song has a recipient. And that person is Yağmur. I'm not just singing, I'm speaking to her." The blast of applause that followed seemed to press up against the ceiling. People jumped as if spring-loaded, some filming with shaky hands, others simply taking in the moment without a screen between them and the stage. For an artist known for intensity, the openness surprised even longtime followers. It was more than a rumor coming to life, it was a promise set to music. As the final notes faded, more commentary spilled from backstage. "The stage turned into a love letter," someone said. "He's never looked happier," murmured another. Clips from that encore traveled faster than any press release could. Within an hour, the phrases people repeated from the videos started to sound like a chorus. "He said it out loud, no more hiding. What will Yağmur say?" And then came the avalanche of support, thousands of hearts and long paragraphs from fans who felt like they had witnessed a private moment shared with them on purpose. It's true that Barış never used the word relationship. He didn't need labels to fill the room. He let the music do the heavy lifting and used a few carefully chosen sentences to frame the story. For those who love them, it was enough. For the tabloids, it was fuel. And for the city, it became that rare kind of night when a performance turns into a turning point. The hall where it happened is already being mythologized. People are going to point at that stage for years and say, "That's where he told us who the songs were for." By the time the lights came up and the doors opened to the cool Istanbul night, the conversation had spilled out onto the street. Fans gathered in small circles, retelling the most electric minutes as if they had to hold on to them with words. Inside the hall, the crew moved quickly, but even they weren't immune to the buzz. Everyone sensed that this concert will be remembered not just for sound, but for feeling. A new chapter seemed to be starting between Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel, and every second of the evening has already become one of the most talked about events of the year in the gossip world. That brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to Turkish Series Stars and share the video so more people can join the conversation. We'll keep following every update, every hint, and every whisper. Until then, keep your notifications on, because when hearts speak on stage, you know we'll be here to tell you every detail.